Hello, students, and welcome to our English class and second part of this chapter. We were reading the chapter 1, The Fun They Had, written by Isaac Asimov from your Beehive book. In our first part of the video, we saw that Margie is writing in her diary that Tommy found a real book. Now, why she is writing real book? Because this story sets in future, dated 17th May 2157, the date when she was writing in her diary. Almost 23rd century we are talking about. How the people will be at that time and how everything will be so computerized. So in 23rd century, Margie and Tommy both are the students or the children. Margie is of 11 years and Tommy is of 13 years. So Tommy found a real book, which real book means the book which you are using right now, and they saw that the book was very old. After seeing the book, Margie remembered that her grandfather once told that when he was a child, he was reading and studying in the real life schools as you go right now. So she got to remember that this is the book which her grandfather was talking about. The book was very old. Definitely, it will be old because now it is the time when everybody is using computers, right? So it's about the time when people were using books, and almost 23rd century. It means books have totally vanished, and in that century they got a book that was yellowish in color. The pages of the book was yellowish in color. It was crinkly. It means the pages were not so smooth. They were having the some lines and all on it. And Margie was very surprised to see such kind of the book. And Margie is a kind of the girl who actually do not like to go to school. And Tommy is someone who has actually read so many books in his television screens, because they are living in 23rd century where everything is so computerized. And in his computer system, they used to have endless number of the books stored in it. So what they noticed in this real book, they found that this real book is so still. Actually, the words on that book were not moving. It was so stable, it was so still. It was not moving just like their computer screen. Secondly, they noticed that there were so many words that which they read in the beginning were repeated in the book several times. So the vocabulary was also very limited, which they experienced. So in this way, it was something like that. Tommy felt that I would not recommend such kind of the book. If people will get to know about this book, they will throw it out. And as Margie, she haven't read so many books. She is just 11, so she is not thinking the same as Tommy thinks. So she thinks that she won't actually uh, throw out the book. Now we will continue from here. She said, "Where did you find it?" Now Margie is asking out of excitement that from where he got this book. "In my house," he pointed without looking because he was busy reading. "In the attic. So Tommy was very busy in looking toward that real book that he was not even just bothered about where and in which direction he is pointing out. So he just pointed out and told Margie that from there I've got the book, and that was an attic. What is this attic? It's a kind of the space just below the roof used as a storeroom. So you can say it as just a storeroom from where you can keep the unused items, right? Then what's it about? Now Margie is asking about what this book is. Means what is written in this book, what this book contains. Tommy tells it's about schools. And Tommy said, yes, it's all about schools. Now Margie is thinking, schools? What these schools are? Let's see. Margie was scornful. Scornful meaning showing you think something is worthless, shows you dislike for something. So, Margie, as I already told, she hates schools actually. So, when she heard that this book is about schools, so she said, what? Schools? Means who used to write about schools in this? So, she was actually feeling that this book is actually a waste for me because I don't like schools. Now, she says, school. What's there to write about school? I hate schools. Now, Margie says, what? It is written about schools? Who used to think about writing about schools? Oh my god, I just hate it. And who is that person who's written about schools? Such a boring place, right? So, as Margie, I don't like schools and I hate it. So, this tells us one thing, that Margie is just against schools. Now, the reason is, and the question which arises in our mind, that why? Why she don't like schools? And especially, I guess you guys will think, those who love school, that why and what was the reason behind that Margie hates schools. So let's move further and see what happened next. Whatever she writes in her diary. Margie always hated schools, but now she hated it more than ever. So, Margie, since she started going to school, she was already hating it. She never liked the school place. Now, you might be thinking, schools we are talking, and I said that this story is about future. So, yes, you are right. Margie do not have such school buildings where children used to go and study together. In this 23rd century, they have a specific room next to their bedroom only, and there's a computer screen which used to flash the teachers, robotic teachers, at a particular time duration, and at that time, so as to attempt the task, Margie needs to be present over there. I can compare it with today's life also. Like right now, we all are studying through online teachings and all, and in this you need to be present in front of your television screens, actually computer screens, at a particular time when this class will start, right? So that was happening, and this story is all about the mechanical teacher had been. And also one more thing, that Margie didn't like school and now she's hated it more and more as ever she did. So it is written, the mechanical teacher means the robotic teachers, had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for county inspector. So why she is against this, you can say it as schools and mechanical teachers. The reason is, mechanical teacher of her television screen used to give her test and test all the time, test and test. So she was totally frustrated as a child that how many tests I'm gonna give. So she was very frustrated about it. And that is also in which subject? Geography. And it's not like that the teacher is taking the test one by one and she's performing good. The test which she was getting, the task whatever she was getting, she felt that it's like very huge burden for her, and she was not able to perform best in it. So she was doing every time worse and worse in all the tests whatever being taken, until her mother has shaken her head, means she got actually out of her temper, and she sent to county inspector. Now you might be thinking, is she going to send that Margie to the county inspector? So let's find out whether Margie will go to the county inspector or the mechanical teacher. And also we will get to know in the next slide who is actually this county inspector. So I can show you in this picture. Can you see this? Yes, now first read it. He was a round little man. So this is a round little man, something like this. With a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. So just like this, there's a county inspector, means just like a, in our today's word we say as mechanics, right? So she means her mother, she took the machine, means the mechanical teacher, to whom? To the county inspector, who is just like a mechanic, who is going to make the changes in this mechanical teacher. Maybe there's some fault, because of that it's not working properly. So who is having the dials, the wires, everything he is having, the county inspector is having it. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple. So this county inspector was smiling when they went to county inspector and gave her an apple to eat. Then took the teacher apart, and then they took that teacher, who is a mechanical teacher, to some other place where they can treat that teacher. Just like the doctors. Right now, the doctors are doing in this COVID-19 pandemic, where the person, those are suffering from this, they used to take them in the isolation wards and they quarantine them, right? So, in the same way, here the quarantine will not be done, but yes, they will take them to the separate place where he can treat them, and this mechanical teacher can work properly. So let's see what else we can find here. Okay, so Margie had hoped, now Margie is thinking, he wouldn't know how to put it together again, but he knew how, all right. And after an hour or so, there it was again, large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. So, after 1 hour of this, just like you can say it as in the operation theater, when it was in the operation theater, Margie was thinking, I hope so now the things will get better. But actually she knows that it will be again the same mechanical teacher will come in front of me, the large big screen again with the questions and all it's going to ask to me. So you can see the level of this frustration in this child, right? She is totally against this school and she do not like to study. And it is not like that this girl don't like to study. There is some reason why Margie hated school, and what was that which made her to just cut off herself from that particular task and from that class and the school too. So thank you so much, and what happened next we will see in the next video. So till then, goodbye and thank you for watching.